Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about issue number 5 of X Factor From the Ashes, written by Mark Russell. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment to help the channel grow. So with that said, this issue opens with a national broadcast stating that the nation is on full alert as Darkstar threatens to attack an unnamed target on U.S. soil. For Darkstar stated that only Americans are surprised when someone returns fire, especially after their imperialist attack on Kunashir Island. And because of said attack, their response was only going to come in a matter of time, and according to Darkstar, today is said time. Now with that declaration made, we then jump over to Nevermore's secret military base, and as they pulled in for a landing, Pyro wrongfully so pointed out that he believed the military had told Havoc the location of their secret base and kept him in the dark. But in actuality, Havoc was left in the dark just as much as Pyro, because according to him, the coordinates was already pre-programmed into the jet, so all he had to do was sit back and let the autopilot do its thing. And upon exiting their craft, Frenzy asked if the reason why they were summoned to this facility was because of Exterm's threat, which was highly likely. And just like clockwork, as soon as the team entered the base, General Mills asked to speak to X Factor's team leader alone and told the rest of Havoc's team to wait in what she called the fun room, which was a sad excuse for a fun room. But regardless of how terrible it was, Cecilia and Oscar made good use of it. Now as that was going down, we then transitioned over to the room where the adults were speaking, and as they were talking, we found out that due to Exterms threatening an attack on U.S. soil, Congress started to debate an emergency law to monitor disloyal mutants and extremist groups like the Mutant Underground. Now the name of this program is the Mutant Surveillance Act, and to make it worse, General Mills wants Havoc and his team to support it and encourage the cooperation of good mutants, so they can keep track of what they call the bad ones. Now this concept of good and bad mutants rubbed Havoc the wrong way, but unfortunately due to all his actions up to this point, he has proven that he is willing to betray those he loves, like Polaris. So with that going down, we learn that this whole story is something we've seen before, because even if they never arrested a single mutant, the law itself does its job simply by making it impossible for mutants to trust each other. Through this law, the government is able to divide and subdue the mutant people to the point where they will turn on each other and blame each other for the pain they have caused. With that explained, we then jump back to Havoc and the General bringing the idea of the MSA to the rest of the X Factor. But despite their orders being to make TikTok videos promoting the act, the team still felt awkward about it. So with that said, the General then ordered everyone to turn over their devices and passwords so they could root out the mole within the team. But just like how they had a bad feeling about supporting the Mutant Surveillance Act, they also had their reservations about this intrusion on their privacy. Now this was not what the General wanted to hear, because she stated that no one would be allowed to leave the base without submitting to her search. So with everyone at a standstill, Pyro wasn't about to be made into a prisoner if he could help it, for he was ready to do whatever it took to go free, even if it meant trying to burn his way out. But just as things started to heat up, Havoc stepped between Pyro and the General to attempt to cool everyone off. But at that moment, to everyone's surprise, the base came under attack. And Darkstar along with Exterm came crashing through the roof and started to take out all those before them. So with boots on the ground, Darkstar ordered Phantasm to come with her because within this base there's a powerful mutant who will make an excellent addition to Exterm. So with shit about to hit the fan, the liaison rushed into the room and confirmed what they already knew and tried to hide in a locker as the rest of the team prepared for combat. And as they did just that, Darkstar and her men made their way down the corridor and stated that this base is home to a secret mutant prison. And in said prison, there should be an all-powerful mutant that Exterm wanted to join their ranks. So with that out there, once the door was opened, we discovered the mutant that Darkstar was talking about was a mutant by the name McLoud. So with McLoud broken free, she ordered the rest of her team to break down the door to the room that the X Factor was in. And as they did that, McLoud just sat back and ate sleeping pills, as Oscar just started to panic over the fact that he is a fugitive from Exterm. So as Havoc charged up for an attack, the fun room's door burst off its hinges, and to Havoc's surprise, he stopped dead in his tracks as McLoud stood just looking at them. And casually McLoud just said, he thinks they should know that he just ate like a dozen sleeping pills, and before the General could act, McLoud erupted into a gigantic cloud of smoke and caused everyone within the room to pass out. With the team defeated, Darkstar ordered her men to gather everyone up and load them into their helicopter because she wanted their execution to be live on TikTok. Following that, we fast forward a bit to the entire team alongside the General, held captive on board Darkstar's helicopter. And while they were up there, General Mills asked who was the traitor within her ranks. And funny enough, Darkstar responded by saying there was no traitor within her people, but instead, the person who was informing her of everything was McLoud. Now this caught the general off guard, because she thought his cell was hermetically sealed. But see, what the general failed to realize was McLeod's cell had a smart refrigerator in it that McLoud used to send emails back and forth with Exterm. So with the general now feeling stupid, she then hung her head low in disappointment as the pilot asked if they were going to bring the teleporter with them, referring to Oscar. So with that said, Darkstar then turned her attention over to Oscar as he sat asleep and defenseless, and to prove that no one is allowed to leave Exterm, she tossed Oscar out of the helicopter. And as Oscar fell, Frenzy whispered to the general that she also leaked their location to someone as well. And right when she said that, the helicopter started to malfunction because, on the next page, we see Polaris pulling the craft back to the base. So with the copter in her control, we get a narration saying that everyone expected Darkstar to hit the Capitol or the stock exchange, but instead, she gambled her life to break a single mutant out of prison. So as horrible as she is, perhaps she realized something they all have forgotten, and that is, in a world that would just as soon see you dead, the only thing of any real value is each other. And on that page, we see Oscar has indeed fallen to his death with no hope of resurrection. So with Cecilia's lover gone, we see Havoc embracing Polaris while saying "I'm sorry," just to be turned down because from her perspective, she isn't sure that would be enough. And with that said, this issue of X Factor comes to an end. But anyway, down in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts about this issue and what predictions you could have moving forward. So with that established, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.